Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and today it's my pleasure to be reviewing a fragrance by the company Carolina Herrera, and this one is a flanker to the original, which was released a few years prior, and this one goes by the name CH Sport. Now before I get into the heart of the review, I just want to remind the viewers at home, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This way when I do release new content, and I release a lot of new content, it will get delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about having to search anything up or missing any of my reviews, top 10s, or giveaways. Now, the original was released in 2009, and I love the original. The original is this mix of sort of sugar cane, leather. It has a really enticing and appealing introduction, but I also really like the dry down as well. Well, this is the first flanker that they've ever released for the original, and this one came out just a few years later in 2012. Now, this has spawned many other flankers. There is CH Men Prive, CH Men Africa, CH Men Grand Tour. I think there's even one called Central Park. I own the original and I own Prive. I've also reviewed those fragrances, so if you're interested in checking those reviews out, I am going to leave a comment down below. And this is a sport version, and it is classified as an aromatic spicy, so you would expect it to be a little bit fresher, maybe some citrus nuances, maybe some aquatic nuances. I'm excited to tell you guys what I think about this flanker, but let's start things off by taking a look at the presentation. So this fragrance is reminiscent of its predecessor as far as the presentation is concerned. And you might remember the original had this little tie hanging on the front here. Well, they changed that up, and it looks more similar to this one now. But here's the box. It actually has these horizontal stripes on it. I don't know if you're able to tell, and it is patterned. You can feel it. It's sort of embossed. Just CH logo here on the front. Information at the bottom, UPC, serial number, just a picture of the bottle, the silhouette on the back here, and then the insignia once again at the top. And then here's the bottle. I think the bottle looks pretty cool. Carolina Herrera logo engraved into the cap. Nothing going on at the back, but it is transparent, so you can see how much juice you have remaining in your bottle. Sticker at the bottom with your information, which should coincide with the ones found on the box. And the cap does click into place. You can pick this one up from the cap, no problems. And the distribution on this one is excellent. That's something that I always loved about the original as well. And that was a presentation for CH Men Sport by Carolina Herrera. Now, what you're going to get from this fragrance, as far as the smell is concerned, is it's going to open up with a lot of grapefruit. And it's listed as grapefruit in the note breakdown, and I would consider it to be rather accurate. Even though it doesn't smell incredibly natural, it does have this sort of sour, tart feel to it that I can certainly appreciate. And it's working in conjunction with this spicy note. It's Sichuan pepper. And you do get a peppery quality from it. Maybe not as strong as Marc Jacobs Bang, maybe not as strong as Poivre Electrique by Atelier Cologne, but there is certainly a spicy quality about it, and what it does to the scent is it makes it masculine. And I think we can all appreciate that. There's also this note of sandalwood in there that gives it this sort of slight sweetness in the background. It is clouded a little bit by that spicy nuance, so you have to wait for it to dry down until the creaminess finally starts to come out, and you do get this woodsy undertone, which sort of further works in the favor of making it even more masculine, right? So you got pepper, you got woods. There's also this aquatic nuance in there. It's not as strong as the other ingredients, but there is this aroma molecule that you would find in other aquatic fragrances. Overall, I think this fragrance was a misclassification because for a sport designation, you would expect it to be a much fresher interpretation of the original. With this one, I feel like they deviated a lot from the original because you had sugar and leather in the original, and here you have sandalwood, grapefruit, and pepper. So it's a very different composition. If somebody had told me this was a release by Marc Jacobs, I would have believed them. Now, I don't think this is a bad scent. I just don't think it's a sporty scent. It's not what you would come to expect from this type of classification or designation. Now, of course, my final score is not going to be affected by that. I'm just looking at the scent as a whole. Even though the image, the branding, and the presentation is important, I think ultimately it's the smell that matters. So it has a few really good things going for it. It's masculine. It's pretty versatile. I would wear this when I'm just casually running errands or if I'm meeting up with a few friends at a bar. I think it would suit that purpose really well. I think the only point of contention is that the performance isn't as great. And that's one thing that in many cases you would come to expect from a sports scent. All in all, I've had a few people try this out, and they did like it. I didn't really receive any compliments from it. My wife thinks it's an okay scent. She doesn't like it as much as some other sweet aquatic fragrances that I have in my collection, like Paco Rabanne's Invictus Aqua or Le Male Popeye Eau Fraîche by Jean Paul Gaultier, but nonetheless, she did think this one was just okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at my rating. First up, I took a look at the uniqueness and the overall smell, and it's not an entirely unique scent because I feel like it does borrow elements from other fragrances, but the overall smell is a pleasant one. It's just compromised in the longevity factor, which is our next category. So longevity on me was about 4 hours, and I feel like it does depend heavily upon the two introductory notes or accords, which is the grapefruit and the aquatic accords, but those sort of dissipate, and then you're left with this peppery, woodsy scent that is far from being a sports scent, and it doesn't last a long time either, so it might be a lower concentration too. Projection was okay for like the first hour. I did get noticed. That's when my wife smelled it on me, and she was able to detect that I'm wearing a fragrance, but then after the first hour, it sets really close to the skin, almost becoming a skin scent. Versatility on this one is okay. You can wear this casually, you can wear this one dressed up but semi-formally. You can wear this if you're running errands. I think anybody of any age can wear this, even though some might argue that because of the spicy nuances, it might be more appropriate for somebody who's a little bit older, say 25 and up. I think it's marketed as I know it's marketed as a men's scent, and I think that that's pretty accurate. Even though I wouldn't mind smelling a men's fragrance on a woman, I just think that as far as the classification goes, they were pretty accurate with this one. And the presentation on this one is pretty cool. I mean, it sort of goes hand in hand, and it fits within the line of the other releases from this house, and it has an iconic shape with the sort of fabric here on the front and the design, and I think it's an okay presentation. If I were to give this fragrance an overall score, I would give it a 2 stars out of 5. Now, I think it's an okay fragrance. It's just not my cup of tea. And I think I am sort of falling victim to making comparisons between this and the original, and I love the original. I love the Prive version, and I smelled one other flanker. I think it was Africa, and I found that to be quite enjoyable as well. I smelled that in duty free, and this is my least favorite flankers out of all of them, and I bought it at TJ Maxx for like $14 or $15. So anyways, it's just not my cup of tea. It is a cool fragrance. It's masculine. I think it has a degree of wearability, but the performance is compromised. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was my review of CH Men Sport by Carolina Herrera. If you own or have tried this scent, or any scent from this line for that matter, let me know. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to rate and subscribe for future videos, top 10s, giveaways, unboxings, and a lot of other fragrance-related content. Remember, I smell well, so you can smell good. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care.